The UK government faces a vote of confidence in the next few hours, one called by itself after it blocked a similar opposition motion. The government's majority means it should win and avoid the prospect of a general election. All this comes as the battle to succeed Boris Johnson as Prime Minister took a new twist. The former Finance Minister Rishi Sunak and Foreign Minister Liz Truss have pulled out of the next televised debate. They and three other candidates had clashed in the latest debate on Sunday evening. Conservatives have been growing very concerned about the public infighting that they say is damaging the image of the party. Well, let's talk to Alistair Jones, Associate Professor of Politics at Montfort University. Alistair, another round of voting for members of Parliament this evening in this leadership debate. What do you think we can expect?
In all honesty, I think carrying on as before. So the five that came through, Tom Tugendhat was last, quite a way behind the other four. I suspect, despite his very good performances in both debates, he is going to be voted out. The debates been aimed at the public, but the reality is it's only Tory MPs who are voting at this stage, and I don't see him winning 15, 16, 17 MPs over to pass Kemi Badenoch.
Do you know, we've spent half an hour on this programme tonight talking about the climate crisis around the world, the heat wave that's been affecting China, Europe, the UK. Yet it is taxation and the cost of living that's dominated this leadership campaign. You ain't heard much about the climate crisis, have you?
No, a very brief mention about the commitments made at the COP summit in Glasgow and the extent to which the prospective party leaders will stick with that, and that's been about it basically. So they want to talk about things that they think matter to everyone, and that's tax. So this belief that cutting taxes, or that will help save the economy, that's going to help save the cost of living crisis, everything can be sorted by cutting taxes. And the reality is they forget about the spending side. So if the government's got less revenue, what services are going to be cut? And all the candidates there were awfully light on that as well.
Now, we were meant to have another live TV debate tomorrow, but this has been cancelled, much to the sorrow of political wonks like you and me. Why do you think that is?
Two reasons. First of all, blue-on-blue fighting. It actually got quite nasty in the ITV debate. And even when they were being polite and courteous and complimenting each other, there were barbs in the compliments. So that's part one. It just doesn't look good, and the Labour Party benefits as a result. The second one is the person who's performed the worst over both debates has been Liz Truss. She has been by far the worst performer. Now, she admits she's not a very good public speaker, but the belief among some of her supporters, even though they were tweeting about how well she did, even in the Channel 4 debate, the belief there is that she's actually doing herself harm. She is not very good at debating or in these sorts of set-piece arguments, and therefore it's actually damaging her potential to win. So they pulled her, and with her going, Sunak said, well, if she's going, I'm going, because he's been the one that most of the candidates have thrown rubbish at because of him being Chancellor of the Exchequer until his resignation. So they're blaming him for many things. Now he's fighting all of that off, but he's very defensive rather than trying to be more offensive and setting out his positive agenda for the future.
There are two leadership campaigns taking place here, aren't there? There's the leadership campaign that Conservative MPs want, the leader they want to see, and then there's the leadership campaign that the wider Conservative Party would like to see, the leader who they would like to support.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And the problem with the debates has been they've been aimed at the public, and very few of us get to vote unless you're a Tory party member. So the debates have been, in some respects, largely pointless, apart from us getting to know who the candidates are, because it's all about the leaders and the MPs deciding who they want as leader, get it down to that last two candidates. So they're the target audience, and therefore promises such as tax cuts and things like that, even though they're not costed, some of them do claim to have them costed, it is geared at that Tory party membership, but also the MPs. So what we'll see after the get to the final two, probably by Thursday, or Wednesday, should I say, we will probably see then broadening out a little bit into the issues around climate change and things like that. But I suspect that tax and spend and economic credibility and trust will be the things that we're going to be talking about for the entire summer.
Well, we look forward to that, obviously. The House of Commons is hosting a debate at the moment on the government holding a vote of confidence in itself. Could you just explain to us why this is happening?
OK, the Labour Party put forward a proposal for a vote of no confidence, but it specifically named Boris Johnson. And therefore the government refused to accept that motion, refused to debate it, and instead put forward their own one. So what we're getting is a vote of no confidence in Boris Johnson. He's expecting to win it, which will just be the perfect sort of the icing on the cake. Margaret Thatcher went through the same after she'd been deposed. She then won a vote of no confidence. Some cynics, some skeptics are saying Johnson may actually instruct his supporters to abstain, so the government loses and it calls a general election. However, the Queen could refuse to call the general election and actually instruct a new Prime Minister to be installed. And this got precedence way back in 1924 when this actually happened then.
Alistair, on a hot day, it's all too much. Thank you very much indeed for talking to us. We shall no doubt speak over the coming days. Alistair Jones, Associate Professor at Montfort University in the UK. Thank you very much.